Swing low, sweet chariot, come and carry me home. Swing low, sweet chariot, come and carry me home. I looked over Jordan, and what did I see? A band of angels coming after me. Swing low, sweet chariot, coming forth to carry me home. Swing low, sweet chariot, coming for to carry me home. If you get there before I do, tell all my people I'm coming there too. Swing low, sweet chariot, coming forth to carry me home. Swing low, sweet chariot, coming forth to carry me home. When you get there, there'll be no pain, and Mama will be there calling your name. Swing low, sweet chariot, coming forth to carry me home. Swing low, sweet chariot, coming forth to carry me home. Swing low, sweet chariot, coming forth to carry me home. Sweet home.
And this is how I think I felt when I was nursing. I could picture me as the mother. If she had her at home, she'd be singing, "Don't cry."
Yeah.
Don't cry.
Yeah.
What I wanted to do is to be in a nurse and give back to those that need it as I received the whole 50-some years that I witnessed.
Don't cry, baby, give me a smile. Your mama will be here in a little while. Don't cry, baby, I love you so. Let's go to sleep, let's go. Don't cry, baby, give me a smile. Your mama will be here in a little while. Don't cry, baby, I love you so. Let's go to sleep, let's go. To a place that's soft and sweet, lay down your sleepy head. Right where the angels meet, at the foot of your bed. So don't cry, baby, give me a smile. Your mama will be here in a little while. Don't cry, baby, I love you so. Let's go to sleep, let's go. Don't cry, baby, give me a smile. Your mama will be here in a little while. Don't cry, baby, I love you so. Let's go to sleep, let's go. There's a place that's safe and warm, rock-a-bye, baby, bye. Soon you'll be in mama's arms, so close those sleepy eyes. Don't cry, baby, give me a smile. Your mama will be here in a little while. Don't cry, baby, I love you so. Let's go to sleep, let's go. Don't cry, baby, give me a smile. Your mama will be here in a little while. Don't cry, baby, I love you so. Let's go to sleep, let's go. Let's go to sleep, let's go. Let's go to sleep, let's go.
Thank you.
I will be your standing stone. I will stand by you. I will be your standing stone. I will stand by you. I will be your standing stone. I will stand by you. I will be your standing stone. I will stand by you. I will be your standing stone. I will stand by you. I will be your standing stone. I will stand by you. I will be your standing stone. I will stand by you. I will be your standing stone. I will stand by you.
Good morning and welcome to the Unitarian Universalist Congregation at Montclair. My name is Marcus Gray-Haug. My pronouns are he, him, and his, and I serve as the Director of Music Ministries for our congregation. And it's good to be with you all at home or wherever you're tuning in, and in the sanctuary from where we are broadcasting with a small number of people, not as many as before the pandemic, but we're working our way up there. If you are watching this service live on Facebook or YouTube, we invite you to share your name in the comment section. And we're going to start with our gathering hymns. Please rise and body your spirit for Enter, Rejoice, and Come In. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Enter, rejoice, and come in. Enter, rejoice, and come in. Today will be a joyful day. Enter, rejoice, and come in. Open your ears to the song. Open your ears to the song. Today will be a joyful day. Enter, rejoice, and come in. Open your hearts, everyone. Open your hearts, everyone. Today will be a joyful day. Enter, rejoice, and come in. Don't be afraid of some change. Don't be afraid of some change. Today will be a joyful day. Enter, rejoice, and come in. Enter, rejoice, and get down. Enter, rejoice, and get down. Today will be a joyful day. Enter, rejoice, and get down.
And we continue with the song that's known as the unofficial Black national anthem, Lift Every Voice and Sing. Earlier this year, Congressman James Clyburn of South Carolina introduced legislation designating this song as the national hymn, not to replace the national anthem, but to complement it as the national hymn. Lift every voice and sing. 1, 2.
Lift every voice and sing till earth and heaven ring with the harmonies of liberty. Let our rejoicing rise high as the listening skies. Let it resound loud as the rolling sea. Let the song full of the faith that the dark past has taught us. Sing a song full of the hope that the presence has brought us. Facing the rising sun of our new day begun. Let us march on till victory is won. God of our weary years, God of our silent tears, Thou who hast brought us thus far on the way, Thou who hast by Thy might led us into the light. Keep us forever in the path we pray. Lest our feet stray from the places, our God, where we met Thee. Lest our hearts
whoever you are, wherever you come from, whatever age, ability, history, identity, gender, or sexual orientation, you are welcome to bring your full self here. I am Dana Moore. My pronouns are she, her, and hers. Grounded in faith, we come together to nurture the soul, inspire hope, and bring into being a more just and loving world. Today's service, titled Our Work Together and Apart, is brought to you by our Black Lives of Unitarian Universalism group at UUCM, our Allies for Racial Equity group, and our intern minister, Ali Casey Bell. This service explores how we can utilize lessons that we teach preschoolers about how to play well with each other in covenantal community.
I am Annalise Scherfen. My pronouns are she, her, hers. If you have school-age children, please register for our amazing, enlightening, empowering children's religious education program. If you are joining us at 10 a.m., please continue with us for a virtual Connection Cafe beginning at 11 a.m. It's time to light our chalice, a beacon to guide us through these times together. Perhaps you have a chalice or candle at home, anything that you can illumine. Let's light our collective chalices as Sylvia Cowan from ARE and Nicole Gray from Blue share a chalice lighting reading.
We Are a Rainbow People by Naomi King. Somos una gente del arco iris. We are a rainbow people. The rainbow is an arc of light brilliantly displaying all the colors of the visible spectrum, all the colors that combine to make an astounding beauty of our world. All the colors that combine to reflect the astounding diversity of human expression.
Nous sommes des peuples de l'arc du ciel. We are red people who respect others. We are orange people who offer faith and kind treatment. We are yellow people yearning for learning.
Somos una gente del arco iris. We are green people who grow in our search for truth and meaning. We are blue people who believe in what we are achieving. We are indigo people insisting on freedom, love, and peace. We are the violet people valuing the web that does not cease and we did not create.
Nous sommes des peuples de l'arc-en-ciel. Unitarian Universalism shows up refracted through thousands of different human expressions and experiences, through individuals living our promises, through covenanted communities, through our associations and our actions.
We are a rainbow people. Together, what we give heals and transforms our world. This is our covenant, our bridge of heaven, our dream and our reality. The flame of the chalice lit around our world is the source of light and the pot of gold at the end of that rainbow. The flame of that chalice is filled with the light we bring and nurtured by our hopes and dreams. We know the rainbow begins with you and with me.
For somos una gente del arco iris. Nous sommes des peuples d'arc-en-ciel. We are a rainbow people. Let us grow the rainbow again today. I am Nicole Gray, she, her, hers, and I am a member of UUCM's 8th Principal Team.
And I'm Reverend Anya Samler-Michael, she, her, hers. At our annual meeting, we voted to adopt the 8th principle, which calls us as a faithful people to build a diverse, multicultural, beloved community by accountably dismantling racism and other oppressions in ourselves and our institutions. So now, we as a congregation need to go beyond adopting this principle to living it.
Say the word. Reparations.
Reparations.
What exactly are reparations? The National Coalition of Blacks for Reparations in America defines reparations as a process of repairing, healing, and restoring a people injured because of their group identity and in violation of their fundamental human rights by governments, corporations, institutions, and families. Those groups that have been injured have the right to obtain from the government, corporation, institution, or family responsible for the injuries that which they need to repair and heal themselves. And the anarchist reparations movement says, reparations are bigger than a paycheck is a saying among those seeking reparations. It requires land return, agency return, and the intentional commitment of resources to foster restoration of affected healthy communities through resource allocation, policy change, and targeted economic opportunities. Reparations takes into account the concept of well-being as meaning health in all areas: spiritual, mental, physical, financial, social, environmental, to create a horizon of possibilities.
Say the word, reparations.
Reparations!
And join members of our congregation from our 8th Principle team, from our Undoing Racism team, from our Blue, from our Allies for Racial Equity as we march on Juneteenth, Saturday, June 19th in Newark at noon, demanding that our New Jersey legislature move the bill forward that would study the history of racism in New Jersey to suggest appropriate reparations for all those harmed by slavery and its subsequent evils. Questions? Please reach out to Nicole or to myself. We will be there, as well as many other from our congregation, meeting at the Lincoln Memorial in Newark at noon.
Well, my goodness. So we actually have to tell the New Jersey legislature to study something. Oh, wow. Now that's leadership. This is leadership up here on the chancel, and I'm here to lead us in a leadership ritual. Leaders modeling healthy leadership. They take on leadership roles in this institution, and then when the proper time comes, they let those roles go. In today's service, we honor those who are stepping into new leadership roles, and we honor those who are accepting new positions. Our leaders uphold our congregation's mission with their dedication, their love, their time, their talent, their treasure. We lift up their names with grateful hearts, knowing that we are far more for all that they give and have given, and I know they will continue to give. So those that we honor specifically today, Peter Arian will be transitioning from board president to board past president. Jason Brome will be completing his 2-year term as co-chair of the religious education team. Deborah Corbett will become Committee on Ministry chair. Teresa D'Souza is stepping down as Social Justice Coalition team co-chair and from the Personnel Committee. Wayne Eastman is becoming the new Board of Trustees Secretary. Johanna Foster steps down as Social Justice Coalition co-chair. Jane Gertner steps down as the Undoing Racism team chair. Michael Hetrick is moving from president-elect to president of the Board of Trustees. Ghana Hilton is completing her 2-year term as co-chair of the Religious Education team. Dana Moore will be stepping down from leadership in Connection Cafe and Cakes for the Queen of Heaven and stepping into leadership on the Nominating and Leadership Development Committee. Sue Ralpher steps down as past president of the Board of Trustees. Sarah Scalette ends her term on the Council of Ministries and joins our board as a trustee at large. Annalise Scherfen accepts the Undoing Racism Team Chair. Dan Silver steps down as Council on Ministry Chair. Matt Silverman steps down from the board, joins NLDC. Kate Loyson-Turek steps down as NLDC Chair. This is important, especially all the stepping down, because when we ask you to join something and lead something, please know it's not a life sentence. So leaders, we salute you all with gratitude for the way that you model healthy leadership, the way you let go, the way you say yes, and the way you tell us it's time to go. Thank you.
Called now by this display of joining and release into worship, we turn to seek a soft meditation, a deep reflection, an ardent prayer. Each of us as we are called, yet mystically all together. And we enter into this space by hearing the lamentations, the requests, and the remembrances of our community. Let us hear one another to heal one another. We light a candle of pride and joy for our town and our social justice coalition, who has worked with our council member Peter Jacobellis to improve the livability of LGBTQI individuals with the passing of the Employment Township Contractor Non-Discrimination Ordinance and an ordinance to require all gender restrooms. Randy Hawkins, Peter Arian, and our congregation's Mesh Cafe community light a candle for Juanita Morgan. Juanita was a guest for many years who recently passed away. She was a wonderful person who only complained if we didn't have a dairy-free option. This light shines for Juanita. Ann Tripp and Foxy Pullen would like to light a candle for their longtime friend, Tom Murphy, who is currently in the hospital with a bone infection, facing surgery any day now. Ann Tripp and Foxy Pullen would also like to light a candle of remembrance for Foxy's late husband and Ann's elder, Hermotimus. June 12th was his birthday. Happy birthday, Herm. We both miss you. Dana Moore lights this candle of healing for Kevin Pierre and his mother, Rosina Marina Monsweg. Dana Moore also lights this candle for Peter Arian and his father, Elliot Arian, who was born in 1929 and jokes that his parents couldn't afford a middle name. May that chuckle of joy we just felt surround them in their healing and transitions. Catherine and Judd Council light this candle in mourning for their friend Mark Jensen, who died suddenly this week. Mark had an incredibly fun and joyful spirit and a knack for lifting up everyone he met. He adored his wife Maria and his twin boys Wyatt and Waylon. We were lucky to have known him. The Mesh team lights this candle in sadness, marking the passing of Maureen Brady, a frequent Mesh guest. May our hearts be with her and her family. Peg Sipe lights 2 candles of joy for the college graduations of Sam Schumann from Oberlin and Zach Schumann from Occidental last month. Peg also lights this candle of joy as she and Tony just celebrated their 33rd wedding anniversary. So much joy. We celebrate with the Sipe family. We light this final candle for the joys and sorrows that have not been spoken aloud. In the silence that follows, you are encouraged to speak the names of those you are holding in your prayers or meditations, or to write them into the chat. May we hold this silence as this silence holds us. May our listening bring forth acts of love.
Spirit of love, of life and healing, we allow these candles to burn brightly today in our lives. Each light touches a life that no longer is with us, but stays connected to us. Each spark reminds us of the love that we were so blessed to experience. Let our hearts heal, and let our memories and the sharing of their stories keep them living in our lives. Ancestors of pride, I call on you today to lay blessings upon your children and their children and their children and their children to come, and so on. We again are making a month that started as an answer to a plea from a Black lesbian, Stormy De La Very, who began when she was being beaten by the police. She pled with the crowd, "Why don't you do something?" Give us the fortitude that Stormy had in that moment to mobilize against a destructive and corrupt system. Give us the courage of the crowd. Give us the courage of the crowd to rise up and answer her call to uprising, not to riot, but reckoning, not to destruction, but to restructuring, not to wreckage, but to resurrection. Help us to remember that we are whole, divine, and holy. We are beautifully made, each of us self-determined, each of us lovable, each of us loved. All of us, your trans children, your lesbian children, your bi children, your gender expansive children, your queer children, your intersex children, your asexual children, your queer children, your pan children, your gay children, your rainbow children, and all of the allies of the rainbow, each of us worthy. Please join now in our prayer response. How could anyone? Amen, Ashe, and blessed be.
Soul, how could
your loving is a miracle. How deeply you're connected to my soul.
Anyone ever tell us we are less than whole? Good morning. My name is Dan Silver. Pronouns are he, him, and his. When you give to our offering, 80% of your gift will care for the Unitarian Universalist congregation at Montclair, and 20% will support our Justice recipient. Our June Sharing Our Riches recipient is Sharon Miller's Academy for the Performing Arts, a Black-owned business in Montclair over 25 years old, providing training in dance and related theater arts while encouraging creativity, building skills, fostering self-discipline, and bolstering self-esteem. With our donations, we can help extend their free Mommy and Me program for infants through age 8 into the summer. Offered in association with the Greater Newark Healthcare Coalition, storytelling, drumming, and dance are used to enhance pride in cultural heritage. You can text to give, mail us a check, or go to our homepage and click on the donate button. This is a time of need. All of your gifts are worthy, and they are all received with love. Thank you.
Covenantal Prose by Dana Moore. I love you. I choose to be here. And I want to know that you're not going to actively allow me to be hurt. That is what a covenant means to me. It means a commitment that I can trust you in the gentlest ways with my spirit. And my spirit, like many of ours, has been hurt before, roughly handled or not at all. I see in you and this place what I see in me, an ability to grow without fearful restraint. I entrust you with my spiritual growth, and I know it won't always be easy, but I commit to showing up and growing through it with you, sometimes loving you firmly, sometimes from afar. In our covenant, I commit to all these things with you and for you, because I desire these right relationships for myself. I want your honesty, your pain. I witness its growth. I hold you in love. And if I'm lucky, I get to touch your spirit because you've welcomed me. You've welcomed me in your commitment to respect and accountability, to safety and sharing, and so I trust you do so in goodwill, with no ill intention to harm. For those who make no such commitments receive no such trust, and welcoming to hold and to touch the wonder of my spirit. Though you may listen, you may learn, and when you have, you will be ready to make such a covenant of love. May this community be a spark of love on your journey. May you find that your fires are fanned and your furnace roars here. May the candles of our spirits light your journey to finding your covenantal community. Today's anthem is This Joy That I Have by gospel legend Shirley Caesar.
kids that are here with me today. We got Brian Crooks on percussion, Sam Schumann on guitar, Mike Gilch on piano, and our hymn leader and soloist today, Amy Brabson. This joy that I have, the world didn't give it to me, no. This joy that I have, the world didn't give it to me. This joy that I have, the world didn't give it to me. The world didn't give it, the world can't take it away. This strength that I have, the world didn't give it to me. Oh, the strength that I have, yes, the world didn't give it to me. This strength that I have, the world didn't give it to me. The world didn't give it, the world can't take it away. This love, this love that I have, yeah, the world didn't give it to me. Oh, love that I have, oh, the world didn't give it to me. This love that I have, the world didn't give it to me. Telling you the world didn't give it, the world can't take it away. This pride that I have, the world didn't give it to me. This pride that I have, the world didn't give it to me. This pride that I have, the world didn't give it to me. The world didn't give it, the world can't take it away. This peace. This peace that I have, this peace, world didn't give it to me. Oh, this peace that I have, the world didn't give it to me. This peace that I have, the world didn't give it to me. The world didn't give it, the world can't take it away. This joy. This joy that I have, the world didn't give it to me. This joy that I have, the world didn't give it to me. This joy that I have, the world didn't give it to me. The world didn't give it, the world can't take it away. The world didn't give it, the world can't take it away. One more time. The world didn't give it, the world can't take it away.
You Can't Say, You Can't Play is a book by the early childhood teacher and researcher Vivian Gusson Paley. In this book, she presents the titular rule that she implemented in her early childhood classroom. Children were simply not allowed to reject other students in their play. When reflecting on the idea of play in our lives, I remembered this book on which I based a major research project. This rule addresses less so the child who is rejected and more so the children who might do the rejecting. It disallows them to reject other children. As the children in Paley's book argue, it seems that everyone gets rejected and everyone gets rejected at some point, so children might as well learn how to deal with it now. But as Paley tells her kindergartners, maybe our classrooms can be nicer than the outside world. Maybe we adults can be that nicer outside world. or at least a part of it. We can enable all to play. And of course, I'm not just talking about children here. I'm assuming we can all understand the importance of play, whether it be in the form of vacations, a game of sports, building, creating art or writing, and so on. Being playful is invaluable in our lives. It heals us. As in early childhood, it teaches us how to be with one another. We feel rejuvenated by play. We build community through play. There is joy in play. But not everyone gets to play. Not everyone has the free time to play or the resources to play. Not many are disposed of by our society and denied all rights to play. Not everyone is free to play because of the burdens laid upon them by a capitalist, white supremacist society. And in such a society, not everyone plays by the same rules or is even required to play by the same rules. As a teacher, I see children harm other children, often in the midst of play. I either point out to a child who has harmed another in some way what they have done and how it has affected the other child or children, or I guide the child who was harmed to tell the child who harmed them how it made them feel when they were harmed. I might then suggest that the child who harmed the other ask what would help fix the problem or what would help the other child feel better. Going through this process makes our space a safe place to engage in play and to learn how to be in community with one another. I think there are lessons in this practice that could apply to all of us. We must recognize when we have harmed. Thinking specifically about racial justice, we must understand the history of racism and white supremacy in the United States. We must understand how the systems of oppression have been specifically formed to oppress Black, Indigenous, and people of color in our society. We, as white people, must understand how we continue to contribute to that oppression so that we may move forward and towards repairing the harm. Allies for Racial Equity, or ARE, at UUCM held its first meeting 1 year ago this coming Friday. We gathered after Reverend Ali guided us to form a racial identity caucus as a part of their focused initiative. We gathered amidst the dual pandemic of racial injustice and COVID-19 during an uprising and consciousness awakening following the murder of George Floyd during a global pandemic that disproportionately killed and is killing Black and brown folks. In our Allies for Racial Equity discussions, we have examined whiteness through discussions about the history of white supremacy, racial identity development, white supremacy culture, microaggressions, and more. We will continue to have these discussions as a part of the journey towards repairing the harm. Repairing the harm is obviously an important part of the process. Restoring our full humanity that has been damaged by our participation in white supremacist society is part of the goal of our work in Allies for Racial Equity as we work towards collective liberation for all. Our discussion about developing a positive white identity was held in the earlier days of ARE and is worth revisiting. Imagine being white being synonymous with actively anti-racist living. ARE has discussed microaggressions in a number of meetings, and in a recent survey, anti-racist trainings are at the top of the list of interests for the group moving forward. We are attempting to repair the harm as individuals and a part of a system. And we understand that each day we awake to a white supremacist society that we must unlearn and work to combat day after day. We want a world in which everyone gets to play freely, knowing how important play is. We know that we have not yet achieved that. We are learning that only some people get to make the rules, and that there are exceptions embedded in those rules that are unfair. It is our hope in ARE that our work is coupled with action and that we commit to the work for life.
In preparing for today's share, I decided to call into my space the spirit of Sankofa. The concept of Sankofa comes from the peoples of West Africa. It literally means, it is not taboo to go back and fetch what you forgot. As liberal religious educator Dr. Tuli Patel recently shared, Sankofa teaches us that we must go back to our roots in order to move forward, meaning we should reach back and gather the best of what our past has to teach us so that we can achieve our full potential as we move forward. Whatever we have lost, forgotten, foregone, or been stripped of can be reclaimed, revived, preserved, and perpetuated. Visually and symbolically, Sankofa is expressed as a mythic bird that flies forward while looking backward with an egg symbolizing the future in its mouth. The vision I hold of this bird is always so comforting. For me, she represents hope, because looking back can sometimes mean looking at a painful past. But it is in that pain that I am propelled forward. It ignites my fire and my passion to ensure that no one else ever has to experience the same trials by fire unless they desire to. Pain is often inflicted when we are in a particularly vulnerable state, when we are playing, when we're open and optimistic, and when we're trusting of others and seeking to have a good time. It's often why that infraction can feel so egregious. If we are playing and you hurt me, I will be heartbroken because I trusted you and that trust was broken. To be blindsided by the unexpected is often a worse pain to process than the challenges that we've readied ourselves for. In our blue group, we are not doing the same work as ARE. In fact, as we settled into the pandemic and reveled in the glow of a Black Renaissance where people and organizations were specifically seeking Black artists, Black voices, and Black representation, all we did was play. After processing the realities of our life, of course. You may have even joined us for some of this musical play last week at the Connection Cafe Sing-Along, or previously at the Are You Feeling Blue Soulful Sundown. Another part of my preparation for being with you today was inviting my UU friends to play. Some things worked out and some things didn't, but it helped me to ground the understanding that just like our children, we learn and covenant through play together. Play invites us to co-create our rules and tweak them as we go along, considering fairness, making accommodations, and deciding what is actually fun and what is not. For instance, there are certain games like Uno or Monopoly that every family plays differently. House rules is what I like to call them. In my childhood home, my mother, the master Monopoly player, would take all of the monies collected from taxes and community fees and place it under the free parking corner of the game. So if you happened to throw the dice and land there, you'd win all the money. She did this to give us kids a fighting chance as she bought up all the properties along Park Avenue and built hotels on every one of them. Or like playing Uno with the Hiltons, who have this crazy rule where when you're finally down to your last card, if you don't say Uno fast enough, another player can say no Uno, and you're forced to pluck 2 more cards from the deck. As you can imagine, it can be pretty hard to win if you don't have this information going in. And this is no different from the world that we live in, where some make accommodations for those who struggle, and others make it as challenging as possible to get ahead. Through play, we learn what is needed to create the desired effect or environment. Play can be divisive and create hardships or barriers to reaching a goal. Play can be nourishing, helping us to learn and build relationships. And it's often the catalyst for our free and responsible search for truth, or the fuel that helps us seek justice, equity, and compassion in our relationships. Play is how we, as UUs, welcome each other into our work. Why, then, would we ever say you can't play? To be fair and inclusive, we must go back to the rules and intentions of our work and play. Frequently, we're called to go back to a gaffe to understand where we went wrong, what we missed, or seek out a lesson, the seed that was left behind. In Dr. Paley's book, she informs her readers about the importance of inclusion by noting that exclusion is never fair. She states, "If it is wrong for me to exclude, then it is equally wrong for the children. Teachers must model inclusion in and throughout their classrooms, meaning any punishment must not display isolation of any student. If a teacher expects students to behave one way, they must also demonstrate that same behavior." To be truly inclusive, we must reflect upon our own actions and the examples it sets for others. As liberal religious educators, which we all are if we teach RE, we pick up the mantle of play. But are we playing by the same rules? Dr. Paley continues, "We have not crossed that silver sea yet, but we may be getting there. And getting there we are." This past March, the Undoing Racism team of our UU congregation shared their annual Women's History Month event as a virtual panel entitled Women and Power, Advancing Justice. Our own UUCM youth member and social justice activist Devaney Curdy was a panelist who shared her experience, her personal experience, that exemplifies what it means to balance the scales of fair play. At the tender preschool age, Devaney organized a yard sale for her Montclair pre-K community, which was free at one time and then became fee-based. It made her sad because children whose family could no longer afford it could no longer play. So Devaney raised $50 by selling her toys and clothes and donated it to her school. Today, the Montclair Community Pre-K has a sliding scale for tuition to ensure that their program is available to all Montclair families. Devaney also goes on to talk about reparations, the making of amends for a wrong one has done, by paying money to or otherwise helping those who have been wronged. In essence, reparations is an act of Sankofa, and it is not taboo to go back and fetch what you have left behind. We have left behind a history of pain for so many people. We've made promises that we haven't kept, and in the aftermath, we've taught our children to do as I say, not as I do. But these are not the values and moral guides of our UU principles. These are not the behaviors that contribute to a world goal of community with peace, liberty, and justice for all. And it is definitely not how we journey toward spiritual wholeness. So how do we, as UUs, keep ourselves in check? How do we hold ourselves accountable to that which we claim is a living tradition of wisdom and spirituality? I believe one of the ways that we do this is through our covenants. how we agree to be with one another, our living promises to each other and the world. We create covenants to better understand our needs, to clarify expectations, and to be in right relationship with each other. Some of my favorite youth covenants include statements like, step up, step back, or don't yuck my yum, and ouch, oops. A process where if someone is impacted negatively by something another person has done or said, they say ouch. And the other person acknowledges by saying oops. And later, they're able to identify the pain point, discuss it, learn from it, make it right, and together move forward. Like play, our covenants call us to co-create our rules together and tweak them as we go along. Our covenants help us to create safe spaces for the people in our communities. Blue is one such safe space. It is a safe space for our Black, Indigenous people of color, and we need safe spaces. We need to know that we matter. We need to know that we will not be harmed, and that we are safe to say ouch. And that all those with whom we are covenanted are open and willing to go back time and time again to fetch what we have forgotten, to repair what has been broken, to carry our seeds forward and turn the world around.
Thank you, Annalise and Dana. This congregation, it knows how to play. I've seen it. I've seen it in meetings, I've seen it in worship, and in those rare occasions when I've seen you out and about. The thing is, play is just like Dana and Annalise expressed so well. It is regenerative. It teaches us about covenant. Play also teaches us about who we are as people long before we're even asking those questions of ourselves. They have said all that needs to be said for you all to understand why play is so important and to understand why it's important here now at UUCM. The work that this congregation has done this year, it has been monumental. It's been monumental in its depth and breadth. When I came to this congregation, I came to learn how to design worship like your co-ministers and the ministry team does. And I came because I wanted to learn how to do what it appeared you were doing, tackling racism in a way that I wasn't seeing in the Unitarian Universalist Association. And you were, and you weren't, but you were willing. And so I talked to lots of people in the congregation to determine if my focused initiative, bringing race-based affinity groups to UUCM, was something that you needed or even wanted. You expressed that you did. And you did the work of maintaining them and attending them and breathing your own life into them. Your coordinators are amazing examples of people who have committed to the cause of changing this congregation into the congregation that you have been time and time again throughout history. The congregation right out in the front of the others, leading the way in social justice. I want to warn you, though. This work requires each of you to do your part. It requires you to remember that you can't say, you can't play. It requires you to remember that the next intern, does not need to hear for 100 times that you're dedicated to hiring women of color, because now you know that is a microaggression. It means that you will do the work to get people's pronouns right the first time and every time, and apologize and fix it when you mess it up. And you won't just keep going like you didn't do it, because now you know that also is a microaggression. It means that you will take the time to learn about people who have mental health disorders and treat them like they matter. And you will not treat them like they are undesirable. You will treat them like they have a place in this congregation, because you now know that that too is a microaggression. And this is important. Each of you and all of you need to find ways to commit to this work. This is not just Annalise's work. This is not just Dana's work or Jane's work or Ghana's work. This is everyone's work. UUCM, you are in my heart. You can't say you can't play anymore. This isn't who you have become. You entered into this pandemic. And you used each day, it seems, burning brightly and intently on rising out of the flames, brighter and more ready to do this work. So do the work. Imagine the world that Dana and Blue and Annalise and ARE are working hard to bring about. It's time for you to turn the world around. It's time for you, each of you, to get to work. Amen. Will you reflect with me? How does the cultivation of play in our lives require us to cultivate covenant with others and work towards the repair of our relationships when we break the covenant? Join us in singing our closing hymn, Turn the World Around.
We come from the fire, living in the fire, go back to the fire, turn the world around. We come from the fire, living in the fire, go back to the fire, turn the world around. We come from the water, living in the water, go back to the water, turn the world around. We come from the water, living in the water, go back to the water, turn the world around. We come from the mountain, living on the mountain, we back to the mountain, turn the world around. We come from the mountain, living on the mountain, go back to the mountain, turn the world around. Whoa, so is life. Oh, so is life. Whoa, so is life. Oh, so is life. Do you know who I am? Do I know who you are? See we one another clearly. Do we know who we are? Do you know Heart is of the river, body is the mountain, spirit is the sunlight, turn the world around. Heart is of the river, body is the mountain, spirit is the sunlight, turn the world around. We are of the spirit, truly of the spirit, only can the spirit turn the world around. We are of the spirit, truly of the spirit, only can the spirit turn the world around. Oh, so is life, oh, so is life, oh, so is life, oh, so is life.
This joy that we have is not given by the world. It is created by our covenant.
And commitment to each other to grow, learn,
and play together. And when we hurt each other, we must go back to the fire.
Go back to the water.
Go back to the mountain.
And turn the world around.
Our worship has ended. Let our service begin. Go in peace. Go in joy. Go in love.
Join us right after this for Connection Cafe. Join us for our virtual service next week, June 20th at 10 a.m., and then come out for our in-person outside flower communion and bridging ceremony from 1 to 3 on our congregation's front lawn. This will be the last time that I will be your intern minister, and I will be there in person. I would love to see you there. So, until we meet again, virtually or otherwise, you are in our hearts.
Thank you, Tech. Thank you all.
Swing low, sweet chariot, come and carry me home. Swing low, sweet chariot, come and carry me home. I looked over Jordan, and what did I see? A band of angels coming after me. Swing low, sweet chariot, coming for to carry me home. Swing low, sweet chariot, coming for to carry me home. If you get there before I do, tell all my people I'm coming there too. Swing low, sweet chariot, coming for to carry me home. Swing low, sweet chariot, coming for to carry me home. When you get there, there'll be no pain, and Mama will be there calling your name. Swing low, sweet chariot, coming for to carry me home. Swing low, sweet chariot, coming for to carry me home. Swing low, sweet chariot, coming for to carry me
And this is how I think I felt when I was nursing. I could picture me as the mother. If she had her at home, she'd be singing, "Don't cry,
Yeah.
don't cry."
Yeah.
What I wanted to do is to be a nurse and give back to those that need it as I received the whole 50-some years that I witnessed.
Don't cry, baby, give me a smile. Your mama will be here in a little while. Don't cry, baby, I love you so. Let's go to sleep, let's go. Don't cry, baby, give me a smile. Your mama will be here in a little while. Don't cry, baby, I love you so. Let's go to sleep, let's go. To a place that's soft and sweet, lay down your sleepy head. Right where the angels meet, at the foot of your bed. So don't cry, baby, give me a smile. Your mama will be here in a little while. Don't cry, baby, I love you so. Let's go to sleep, let's go. Don't cry, baby, give me a smile. Your mama will be here in a little while. Don't cry, baby, I love you so. Let's go to sleep, let's go. There's a place that's safe and warm, rock-a-bye, baby, bye. Soon you'll be in mama's arms, so close those sleepy eyes. Don't cry, baby, give me a smile. Your mama will be here in a little while. Don't cry, baby, I love you so. Let's go to sleep, let's go. Don't cry, baby, give me a smile. Your mama will be here in a little while. Don't cry, baby, I love you so. Let's go to sleep, let's go. Let's go to sleep, let's go. Let's go to sleep, let's go.
Thank you.
I will be your standing stone. I will stand by you. I will be your standing stone. I will stand by you. I will be your standing stone. I will stand by you. I will be your standing stone. I will stand by you. I will be your standing stone. I will stand by you. I will be your standing stone. I will stand by you. I will be your standing stone. I will stand by you. I will be your standing stone. I will stand